Hey there, and welcome to my kitchen garden. Over the past few years, I've been slowly transforming this space, adding new raised beds, experimenting with different setups, and really making it into a garden that I love spending time in. Today, I'll take you on a full tour, and if you are thinking about setting up your own space, I'll also share with you some of the tools that have helped me along the way. Some of them are actually on sale right now during Epic Gardening's Memorial Day sale, so I'll link all of that in the description below if you're interested. So let's take a look. When I first started gardening, this area actually wasn't my main garden space. Instead, I built a large garden with a mix of raised beds and ground beds elsewhere in the yard right over there. You've probably seen other videos in that garden. But in 2020, everything began to shift. My husband built me this U-shaped garden raised bed, and later that year, we added the greenhouse nearby. Around that same time, I started growing in the green stalk planters, and I added my first Birdie's raised bed over here. And that's when I realized how much I enjoyed having my garden close to the house. As my kids got older and the trampoline and the above ground pool started needing a lot of repairs, I decided that it was time to expand this space and create a true kitchen garden. Now I grow out here nearly 10 months out of the year, and thanks to the greenhouse, I can even extend my season through the winter. Because I'm always planting and always harvesting at different times, this garden changes constantly. If you visit in August, it's going to look completely different than it does today. But right now, I'm excited to show you what's growing in this garden in May. After growing in Birdie's raised beds for a few years, I knew that they were the right choice for me when I started expanding this space. They're easy to put together, they're easy to move around to get the layout just right, and honestly, I just love the way they look. But if there's one thing that I think I would have done differently with this space, I would have made sure that the beds were just a little bit further apart. These beds have plenty of room in between here, but going between here, it's really hard to get a wheelbarrow in between. So if I wanted to come in here and add compost or add mulch or anything like that, there really isn't a whole lot of space to be able to do that. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. But I also knew that I needed to make a choice. Do I do more raised beds and not have as much space in between, or have more space and fewer raised beds? So I'm just curious, if you had to choose, would you do more raised beds and have it a little bit harder to work around, or would you do fewer? Even though it worked out fine for this area, when I decided to expand the opposite side and bring my Birdie's raised beds from the big garden to this area, I made sure to give it plenty of space so I could have room to bring a wheelbarrow in and work in the garden a little bit easier. Now let's take a quick look at what's growing in these beds right now. This bed right here, as you can see, is full of potatoes. You may have watched the video recently where I planted the potatoes. They are doing great. They're starting to flower, which is usually an indicator that the potatoes are starting to form below the soil. This is their heyday right now because it looks beautiful, but eventually they're going to start to die back a little bit, not look so great as they focus their energy on developing the potatoes underground. But for now, I'm enjoying how beautiful they are. In this bed, we have onions. Again, you may have already seen me talk about these, but these are the ones that I planted back in the fall. Just a reminder, I'm in zone 8A in Arkansas, and typically we don't plant onions in the fall, but I bought short day onions from Dixondale Farms, planted them in the fall. I only covered them a couple of times. They are looking great. I think there's only one that might be starting to bolt, but the rest of them are looking fantastic. I also planted a squash and a zucchini plant here, and they are already starting to produce baby fruit. Back behind me here, I have several plantings of nasturtium. This one's looking a little bit off. I may end up taking this out, but the other ones are looking absolutely beautiful. And then I'll eventually replace the nasturtium with sunflowers later in the summer. In this bed, I have a huge mix of carrots, peppers, and then some of this lettuce has absolutely gone crazy. This is one of the biggest lettuce heads that I have seen. We've got this green, then we've got this red, absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of crowding out these peppers right now, but I'm not too worried about that because once I start harvesting this lettuce, these peppers will start to grow quite a bit. But I love how this bed is completely full. And this bed right over here is basically the exact same. I have lots of lettuce, lots of peppers, lots of carrots, all growing very nicely together. And then finally over here, I have some cabbages that are just starting to head up, and then a lot of my greens that have gone to seed. I will probably end up taking these out pretty soon, but I can still eat this arugula. If you haven't ever tried arugula flowers, they're actually very sweet and they're very tasty. So I definitely put those in my salad as well. And then we have broccoli that I've already harvested, but I've also let it go a little bit longer so that I can harvest some of the florets if I want to. And then in that place, I've planted okra. Now you can see that it's been chewed up a little bit, but I think they'll be just fine. So okra is going to take over this spot after these cool season crops are finished. Okay, let's take a look at the other Birdie's raised beds on the other side. And by the way, if you're curious about the Birdie's raised beds and you're interested in these, they are up to 30% off right now during their Memorial Day sale. It's one of their biggest sales of the year, if not the biggest sale of the year. So if you're interested in these beds, check them out. This is one of my first Birdie's raised beds. It's actually the same size as the ones I'm getting ready to show you, but I chose to make it in a longer configuration. This is one thing I love about the Birdie's raised beds is that you can configure them in different sizes depending on your space. This particular size they don't sell anymore, but the other ones that you saw over there can be configured in a longer setup if you want. But in this bed, I've got parsley that's growing crazy here, nasturtium, and then I've got some carrots here. Not all of them have actually germinated, so they're fewer than I had hoped, but they're still okay. This is marjoram, which is growing really well right now. And then I'm leaving this here because this is purslane. This is actually a weed, but it's very healthy for you, and it's good to be able to toss into salads. These are some iceberg lettuces. They're kind of past their prime. I should have already harvested them, but I was out of town. But I harvested one, and it's a very crisp iceberg lettuce. The first time I've been able to get a true head iceberg lettuce here in Arkansas, and I've been really happy with that because it's the first time I've been able to do this ever since I've tried to do it. Moving along here, well, one thing you'll see too is I've got a sweet potato vine right here, and it's just now starting to get warm here in Arkansas, so these are going to take off soon, and I'll probably plant a few other ones as well so that they can grow up this trellis. Moving back here, you can see the incredible growth if you've been following along here. I've got some marigolds that are about to bloom, but all these are bush beans, and then we have some, I think, nasturtium I planted that's hopefully going to climb up this. If not, I'll put some cucumbers in here. And then this one, I've got the cucumbers starting to climb here. In between, we've got these cosmos flowers that are just starting to bloom. And then there's cantaloupe here. The calendula and all the other flowers are making this space just beautiful. Here you see calendula, tomatoes, peppers, basil, everything you saw me plant. Alyssum is going wild. Just being able to interplant has been really nice. And then you can see these lettuces. I think it'll be fun to test to see if these lettuces last a little bit longer than the ones over in the full sun. I'm hoping they will so we can get longer lettuce harvest in this bed. Then moving back here, this is another Birdie's raised bed that is the tall Birdie's raised bed, and this is the one that I created as a self-watering raised bed. If you saw that video before, this one has a water reservoir at the bottom. If you're interested in that, we'll link that at the end here of this video. But I have not irrigated this. This is cauliflower. This is the biggest cauliflower I've ever seen. It's not producing a cauliflower head yet, and we are getting into May, so I'm a little nervous that we may not get it before the heat arrives, but this is huge. I interplanted it with peppers, and these poor peppers are really having to compete with this cauliflower right now. But again, once the cauliflower is done, these will be just fine. This pepper is actually doing really well. But on the other side, I planted watermelon. Now my problem with the watermelon right now is it's being shaded out pretty bad by this cauliflower. So I'll probably take some of these leaves out just to be able to get it a little bit more sun. So for right now, they're not doing great, but I'm hoping to buy a little bit of time where eventually the watermelon can get out and get some sunlight. But as you can see, this bed is growing really well, and I do like the height of this because it makes tending it really easy. And then finally, we have the bed over here that, sorry, I needed to bury this hose. I haven't gotten around to it, but I've got potatoes here. And then I also have celery in between the potatoes. I've never grown celery and potatoes together. We'll see if that ends up being a good mix or not, but they're here in the center. And then in the center of the celery is okra. And hopefully this will be able to grow and catch the light because it is getting a little bit shaded right now, but hopefully that'll be okay. I have grown these together before. And I put some mushrooms in here as well, and we've already been harvesting off of them. But this has been an interesting experiment for these beds. And as you can see, it's just so fun to be able to plant different crops in different spaces, to be able to take advantage of all of this area in my kitchen garden. So one last thing I wanted to show you is the crops that I have growing in my grow bags. These are grow bags from Epic Gardening. They are the lined grow bags, and they are 15-gallon grow bags, I believe. In this one, I have some onions planted, and this one as well, these two, the onions. The difference between these is that those were grown alongside lettuce, which I thought was really interesting because I've heard about how onions don't compete well with other crops, but you can see these onions by themselves, we have a couple that are bolting, but these onions by themselves are doing a lot better than the ones that had to share a little bit of space with the lettuce. And then I also have a tomato plant over here. This is the variety Verona, and it's had a lot of aphid activity. Hopefully it's gonna get better because I've seen some ladybugs over here. And then this is where my lemon tree is. I had an issue back in March with having the lemon tree in the greenhouse, and it got left open accidentally on a 36-degree night. So it didn't look very good, but it's starting to have new growth and then have new blossoms. This has been a great option to have grow bags in this area as well. And then I've got the drip irrigation on this. So if you're interested in container gardening and you like the idea of the grow bags, one thing I love about these is that I don't have to worry about overwatering them because they shed water easily. And with the handles, they can be transported very easily. And I do like how they're lined because it helps moderate the moisture, and I just feel like it helps the plant stay healthy in general. One final thing you might be interested in is that most of the crops that you see out here, I did grow from seed. Now you can grow crops from transplant, no problem at all, but I do grow most of mine from seed. I will start many of them indoors under a grow light, but eventually I take them here into the greenhouse. But what I found that I really enjoy more than anything is the Epic cell trays. You can see that I have these stored here. These are the 4-cell trays. These are the 6-cell trays. I use the 6-cell more than anything, but the 4-cell is really nice. You can get them regular, you can get them deep. I like the deep ones for tomatoes or peppers. But I use these, and you can just see how sturdy they are. They're gonna last forever, so I don't have to worry about buying any flimsy trays anymore because I have these. And then I'm able to store them in this box that we used to use for swimming towels. And I'm able to access them whenever I get ready to seed start in my greenhouse or inside. It's amazing to look back and just see how a few simple changes, better beds, better soil, a more efficient way of starting seeds using my Epic cell trays has completely transformed my garden over time. Now, if you're thinking about starting a garden or upgrading your garden, don't feel like you have to do it all at once. Understand that everything that I showed you today has been something that I've added little by little, year over year. It was not a one and done garden, but I think that's one of the beauties of it, is that you're able to add just a little bit every year and be really happy with the progress that you see, because we know that over time, little by little, it all adds up. Now, if you want to check out any of the products that I mentioned, the Birdie's raised beds, the grow bags, the seed starting supplies, again, it's all part of Epic Gardening's Memorial Day sale going on right now if you're watching this live. And I've linked all of the information that you need to know, along with a discount code that you can stack on top of their sale prices, in the description below. Now, as you look at the garden space, I would love to know, what is one thing that you would do differently if you could redesign your garden space? I think all of us have the things that we wish we would have done differently. And in my case, I've had the chance to do some things differently since I started this area after I had been gardening for several years. So I'd love to know, how would you do things differently? What do you love in your garden space? I hope you've enjoyed this tour today. Thank you for visiting me in my garden.